When you scroll through the endless sea of gaming laptops, it's easy to get that twinge of doubt. It looks amazing on the page, but will it actually feel right in my hands? I've been there, watching sleek renderings promise buttery smooth gameplay, only to be let down by heat, lag, or a keyboard that feels more like a typewriter than a gamer's tool. That hesitation is real, and it's why I'm digging into the ASUS ROG Strix G18 today. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, because I want you to walk away with confidence instead of buyer's remorse. First off, the biggest question people ask is whether an 18-inch laptop can really be a daily driver, or if it's just a glorified desktop substitute. The Strix G18 tries to bridge that gap with a 2.5K 240Hz Nebula display that's practically a cinema in your lap. In my own testing routine running a mix of competitive shooters, open-world RPGs, and a few productivity workloads, the screen held up nicely. The high refresh rate made fast-paced titles like Valorant feel fluid, while the 2.5K resolution gave enough pixel density for crisp textures in Elden Ring without scaling artifacts. The real win here is the adaptive sync that kept tearing at bay during those intense boss fights, a feature you'll notice the moment you start moving the mouse faster than the on-screen action. But a gorgeous panel means you need a GPU that can push those frames, and that's where the RTX 5060 with 8GB of GDDR7 steps in. It's a step below the RTX 3080 Ti you'd find in premium workstations, yet it's still cranked out steady 8090 frames per second in Cyberpunk 2077 with medium settings at 1440p. For most gamers, especially those who gravitate toward 1080p or 1440p gaming, that performance is more than sufficient. If you're hoping to hit 4K Ultra settings, you'll notice the occasional dip, but the experience stays smooth enough that you don't feel forced to lower every setting to the minimum. In short, the GPU delivers what the price point promises: high refresh play without the need for a constant settings grind. CPU talk is unavoidable for anyone who plans to multitask while gaming. The 24-core Intel Ultra 9275HX brings desktop-level horsepower into a portable form factor. I ran simultaneous streams of my gameplay to Twitch, had a Discord voice chat going, and kept a web browser open with a spreadsheet running a macro. The system handled each thread without a hiccup, and the laptop didn't throttle under sustained loads. That multitasking muscle is a practical win for streamers, content creators, or students who need a reliable workstation after hours. Now, let's talk about the aspects that often get swept under the hype. The first is size and weight. At 7.6 pounds, the Strix G18 is definitely not a commuter's companion. Carrying it from a coffee shop to a dorm hallway feels more like lugging a small TV than a laptop. If you're looking for a portable gaming machine you can sneak onto a plane, you'll find this device a bit unwieldy. On the flip side, if you plan to keep it on a desk or a dedicated gaming station, the sheer screen real estate and keyboard layout can replace a separate monitor and mechanical board, saving you desk space and money in the long run. Heat management is another hidden trade-off. The G18's cooling system is robust on paper, featuring multiple heat pipes and a sizable fan array. In practice, the laptop runs warm under load. Temperatures hover around 85 C when I push the GPU and CPU together during a Starfield marathon. The heat isn't dangerous, but it does cause the fan to spin loudly, which can be distracting in a quiet room. The good news is the surface remains cool enough to type comfortably, and the chassis doesn't warp over time. If noise is a deal-breaker for you, consider a desk fan or a noise-dampening pad to soften the acoustic output. Battery life is a point of curiosity for many gamers. ASUS advertises long-lasting battery with fast charging, and it's accurate, but the reality aligns with the genre. With the screen at its native 240Hz and the RTX 5060 active, you'll get roughly 23 hours of gaming before the charger needs to be plugged back in. That's typical for high-performance laptops. However, the fast charging capability, charging to 50% in 30 minutes, does mitigate the inconvenience. If you plan to game while on the move, you'll need to accept frequent plugins or keep a power brick handy. Who should buy this machine? If you're a serious gamer who also wears the creator hat, streaming, editing, or running virtual desktops, the Strix G18 offers a balanced mix of raw power and visual fidelity. The 32GB of DDR5 RAM and 1TB SSD mean you'll have ample room for large game libraries, video projects, and fast load times. The Thunderbolt 4 port gives you the flexibility to connect external GPUs, high-speed storage, or a dual-monitor setup without bottlenecking performance. In a nutshell, the laptop shines for players who value a big, high-refresh screen, need multitasking muscle, and are comfortable anchoring the device to a permanent spot.